Hey, welcome along to the first episode of Toolbox Heroes, as we've called it. And it's going to be a video every week. I'm going to post it on LinkedIn, or if you've signed up for the email video, I'm going to email it to you every week, okay? And what I'm worried about with LinkedIn is that it's got such a weird algorithm. You know, certain times you post certain hashtags and things that you use. I'm worried that you might not see the video for the week. So what I've done, I've made a little registration page. I've put it in the comment below, the first comment. If you just click on that, if you put your email address in, I will email the video to you on Friday morning. So every Wednesday I'll put the video on LinkedIn and Facebook, but just in case you miss it, just put your email address in and I'll email it to you on Friday morning, just so you can refer back to it. Because today's video is quite long, and I have to apologize in advance for this. This is quite a long one because this is very in-depth and very juicy and like the most important thing you need to get right. I've got loads of stuff to show you that I've done in my own business, but I need to make sure that you get this one right, okay? And it is all about your sales process, your sales technique, your conversion techniques. And it's a really juicy one, and I want you to grab a little pen and paper and maybe take some notes. This is going to be a good one, this. Now, I found this in my granddad's garage when he passed away, God bless him, and it is an old funnel that he used to use on the old railways, and when an old steam engine would come in, he would stick that on the top and, you know, fill it up with oil and stuff. And this reminded me that this is actually like your conversion process, your sales technique, if you like. And if you see a normal funnel like this, if we went out and spent hundreds and thousands of pounds on leads to try and get people interested in business, all your leads go in the top of a sales funnel, and then eventually the things that we do to them, we sort of shake them a little bit, and they sort of plop out at the bottom as a paying customer. So what is your process for when you chuck loads of leads in the top? What do you do all the way down here to make sure they come out the bottom as a paying customer? And that is what today's video is all about, and it's quite in depth. And I just want to show you the things that I've done in my business that has made that funnel sort of bulletproof. Because I had a lot of time to do this when I set my business up again 3 or 4 years ago. I had a few months beforehand, before I started getting back on the tools, that I could design processes and different systems, and this was one of them that I spent a lot of time on, sort of tweaking and sending loads of different things out to see if it would work or not. And now I think I've got it sort of down to a perfect T, and it's down in about, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 different steps. And a good thing for you to do, and what I always like to do with this, is draw little boxes on a page. And just imagine your customer's journey with you. I know that sounds a bit X Factor, doesn't it? The journey. But from the moment they make contact with you, they call you, to the moment they call you and say, I want you to do the job, what does that journey look like? And I do that in like a box diagram, to what happens in sections straight down. So the first thing that we need to think about is indoctrination. Now, I know that word's got some negative sort of connotations to it in the past, but indoctrination is when you say things to someone that convince them of something. Okay, that's sort of my take on indoctrination. What I want to do with my leads is to indoctrinate them. I want to indoctrinate them to make them think that I am the clear choice to go and do their electrics for them. And sort of marketers will talk about this as the know, like, and trust. That a potential client or a lead has to know you, they have to like you, and they have to have trust in you before they give you any money, before they buy from you, okay? And I call that indoctrination, because I have to do things that will convince them over a time period that makes me the only choice for them. And that's why I've broken it down into 8 steps, and I'm going to go through those 8 steps with you now. So our first part of the indoctrination process is how these people find you. How do they come across you? And I know from my own analytics and my marketing that my website is my best performing tool. And on my website, I've put a lot of work into that. I've put videos everywhere. I've put lots of different text and copy in there. I've put lots of awards that I've won and testimonials. And just the whole piece is about indoctrination. I want to indoctrinate that person on that website to straight away start thinking, hang on, this guy looks like this guy could be a good electrician. So that process is started already right at the top, even before they've made contact with me. And I've got three main ways that people contact me. That is by the telephone, that's the most popular. I've got, by email, which is usual, isn't it? Or I've got a little form on my website which people can fill out, and then I get an email from that as well. But phone is the most popular way that they call me. So I've got to make sure that I do a good job on that website or on an advert somewhere to make people call me, and that is called a call to action. So step one is, what is that initial contact? What is that piece of marketing that starts indoctrinating them and gets them to call you? So step two is the call they make or the contact that they make with you. Now, I think the best thing that you can do is to get them to call you, because when they call you, they can speak to someone and it's indoctrinating a little bit more. Because I'm telling you now, most tradespeople don't answer their phones because we're always crawling for a bloody attic, aren't we? Like sweating streams, or we're up a ladder, or we're underneath a car or something. We're always doing plastering the ceiling. We can never answer the phone. And it's a silly thing not to do that, because the person who's just going through Google is just going to go on to the next person. So get someone to answer your phone. So I have a call centre that answer my phone. They answer the phone, they go, "Hello, Andy Wilcox Electrical, how can I help you?" And what people always want, they want you to come round and price a job. So I've got an online booking form which that call centre will fill out for me. I'm showing you that on the computer. They fill it out, and Mrs. Jones, you're going to go see her at 7 o'clock on next Thursday. Here's the address, and the email address and the telephone number. That's the details they take. They book it for me, and that is their job. So in my indoctrination process, they've seen my fabulous website or my fabulous advert somewhere, and now they've called me. Hallelujah, someone's answered the phone professionally, and they've booked an appointment online, and they just can't believe that someone's answered the phone as a tradesperson. So it is a good idea to get a call centre to answer your phones for you. So step three is, in this indoctrination process, is when the call centre, they take all the details down, they take an email address, that's very important, and hopefully a mobile phone, that number, that's what I really want. And when they make that appointment, they go, "Thank you very much, Andy, we're with you next Thursday at 7 o'clock, and they put the phone down. Because it's an automated system I've made on my website, when they hit send, that puts it into the diary, it will send them an email. So that the email is step three in the indoctrination process. So they will get an email saying, "Oh, thanks ever so much for calling me. I can't wait to see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. Just to go through a few things. I may need to look at your fuse board. I may need to look at the job. And if you've got any plans or anything, let me have that. And just have a look at what a couple of clients have said about my work in the past." So I'll put 2 testimonials in there. And that is an indoctrination piece. I am now starting the convincing process that they should be choosing me. So they look for the email, go, "Oh, look what Sarah Johnson said about, oh yeah, Andy was great. Oh, interesting. Sounds like we've got a good guy coming." So that is step 3. The email goes out to them, and it's got a couple of testimonials in there, and it confirms the appointment. So step 4 in my process is when that email goes to them, I also get an email, a diary notification that says, "Mrs. Jones has booked you to go and see her at 7 o'clock next Thursday. Here's the address." So in my van, I keep some envelopes, with just blank envelopes with a stamp on it. And inside that, I've got a little letter, which is just an appointment confirmation. It just says, "I'll be with you at," I'll just put in there, 7 o'clock on Thursday, 2020. And I just fold it up, chuck it in, write the address on the front, and I post that on my way home from work. So they get that the next day, or they get that the day after that. And I'm not going to miss a chance here, because again, this is part of the indoctrination. I'm trying to convince them I'm the guy. So on the second page, I've just filled that with testimonials and what people have said, reviews, because they're going to get the letter and they're going to go, "Oh, so he's confirmed the appointment. That's good. We've had an email as well. So he's had this as well. Oh, this is what he said." And they will read that because they want to know. By the time I get to their house, I want them to want to give me the work, no matter what the price is. And this is all part of that. Okay, it's all trying to think what would make them, convince them to choose me over other people. And this is all part of it. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but once you get into a system of things, it actually does become very easy. So step 5 is, hopefully I've got their mobile telephone number. So on the day before, like the evening before, or the morning of the appointment, the quotation I'm going to do, I will send them a text, and I'll say, "Hey, it's Andy, the electrician here. Just want to doubly make sure it's okay for me to come tonight at 7 o'clock. And we'll go through the job, and you can tell me, is it still okay?" And they never had this before. They get a text, oh God, the guy's confirmed it by email, he's confirmed it by a letter, and now he's checking by text. So that is sort of step 5. It's a reminder text. It doesn't cost anything to send. It might take you a little bit of time to type it in. There must be a way of automating it, but I'll get around to that. And it's just another thing, because half the time you don't turn up. I'm not talking to you personally, but some of us do not turn up to quote jobs. It's unbelievable. It's bonkers that you would get someone to call you with money in their hands going, I'd like to give you my money to do a job for me, and you don't turn up. And I know this happens because when I go to quote for people's jobs, they will say, well, you're the third electrician we've called, and the other 2 guys haven't even turned up. They didn't even phone us to tell them, well, what's wrong with us? We're crazy. You should always go to quote. If you can't get there, at least call them or send them a message saying, I'll be there tomorrow, because it just gives you a bad reputation. So that the text, what that does is it just confirms that I'm definitely coming tonight, and it's just another step in that indoctrination process to prove that I'm a trustworthy person. So step 6 is actually going to do the quote. You've got to go to the house and you've got to meet the people and you've got to go and do the quotation. Now, we're actually in a very privileged position as tradespeople or service people, where you can go to the people's house and meet them to give them the quote. I mean, a lot of businesses can't do that. They have to do everything by the phone or they have to do everything online, but we can go and meet them. So that is an important part in that indoctrination process. And we're moving down this funnel. So when I go and quote and I go meet people in their houses, with the old obvious stuff, taking your shoes off or putting some shoe covers on, and obviously gloves and masks and stuff at the moment if it needs for that. I had a form made up, like a form that you can write on, like a carbon copy form. And on this form, it's my quotation form. And it's carbon copy, so you can take the top one off and the yellow copy underneath. I keep that one. And I just fill out stuff on there, description of the work, maybe some materials that I might need, and some other little notes on there. And I'll just fill it out. And when we're done with the quotation, we've walked around and we've spoken about the weather and all that sort of stuff. I rip that top copy off, and then I've had these A5 little sort of glossy brochures made, and these are, I admit, these are quite expensive. They're probably £1.50, £2 each, because inside they've got this little pocket thing to put your quotation sheet in, which makes it a bit more expensive. But it really is worth it, because this will stay in their kitchen or on their dining room table or wherever the hub of the house is, and it's got your important documents on the front. Keep this safe. Little bit of positioning piece there. Always use images of yourself, because people like to see people coming in, who's coming into the house. Inside, another client testimonial there. How to choose a trusted electrician. Some more positioning pieces there. And on the back, I've got my 6-point guarantee. So I'll put that in there. I go, here's, keep this, and I'll go and send the quotation to you, and you keep this. And I tell you now, they keep this, because when I go back and do the jobs, I still see it on the kitchen side or on the table. So that's quite a good thing. I mean, it makes it a little bit more expensive, but it's just another thing, because there I am on the worktop or on the dining room table. There's my face smiling away, and there's my name, and it is an important part of that indoctrination piece, because I'm still there even when they're not even thinking about me, and they look down. I'm still there on the table. So that's a really good thing to do, just to sort of keep yourself in their mind, if you like. So the next part is we've got to do the quotation, haven't we? And this is the bit where we fall down mostly, because I put my hands up. I'm guilty of this. Sometimes, it can be, I hate to say it, a few weeks before they get that quotation, just because they're so busy all the time. We're just always out and about and doing stuff. And I thought, I have to put an end to this. I can't do all this brilliant stuff, doing all this indoctrination pieces, and they have to wait a week or so for the quotation. So what I did is I bought an iPad, and the iPad's got like 4G capability, so I can connect to the internet on it. So when I go in and do that quotation, I do all the stuff, I give them the little folder and stuff, and then I drive off around the corner and I pull in, and then I'll do the quotation there on the iPad, because I've got Microsoft Word on there. I've got there's probably a blinking blooming program that will do this for me, and there's probably some software out there, and I'm probably gonna get comments going, buy our software, we do that. But I like old school, because I like to make the quotation look like how I want it to look like. So I'll just have the document on there as already there. All I've got to do is fill in the name and address, and I just have to fill in the little quotation bullet points and the price on there, and I can email that to them half an hour after I've just seen them. Now that is absolutely powerful piece, and when I'm talking about indoctrinating them, you are moving them down this focus. Within half an hour being there, and they've gone away and they've got this and they're reading through this thing, they've got the email come through with the price on. It's absolutely fantastic. But there's one little sweetener that I do on top of that, which is something called BombBomb, which is an email video that you can send. And if you search for it online, BombBomb, but you can send emails with videos in them. So usually you've got to go to YouTube or something like that, and you've got to make a video, and then you've got to sort of implant it into the email and then send them back to YouTube. But BombBomb is an email system which will send them the video with any sort of attachments on there from you. It's got your name on it. It's a really brilliant system. So I will record myself on my iPad into the camera, and you can do it on your webcam or even on your phone, and you will say something like, "Oh, hey, Mrs. Jones, it was great to meet you this evening. I've just put that quotation together for you, and I think you're right about the silver lights. I think I've put silver lights in the quotation, and I've also put some extra little switches, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. I've attached the quotation, get back to me as soon as possible so we can get a date in the diary." And you put that as a little video, so they, half an hour after you've gone, they go to the email, "Oh, I sent it through already. Oh, there's a little video here. Oh yeah, hello, Mr. Jones. Oh, and there's the quotation attached." Wow, I'm at the bottom of this conversion process already. They're about to plop out, as it were, as a customer at the end. And I know it's a lot of work, but I assure you, within 5 minutes of them opening that email, they come back to me and they say, "Yeah, come and do the job," because I've put all the effort in to doing all that other stuff. Now, 95% of the time that happens. 5% of the time, they are waiting for other quotations to come in, or they're just busy. People are busy, aren't they? They just don't have time to do stuff. So I might have to follow up. Now, my first part of that is what I would call step 8, and that is to post a hard copy of that quotation. So if I haven't heard anything by the next day, or sort of midday next day, I will post the quotation in the post. So they get another letter from me, and the thing I've emailed, exact same thing, is printed and sent. So they open it up as well. So that's my 8 or 9 steps, if you like, to try and convince them that I'm the person for them. And if you don't hear from them, then you're going to have to put them into a little follow-up process that you're going to have to design, which is maybe a text or another email or a phone call. Or you could bomb again. "Oh, hello, did you get the quotation through?" There's loads of stuff that you can do. But if you get this right and maybe copy some of the things that I've done, you won't need to follow up, because people come straight back to you and they say, "Yeah, we want it." And I've had people say, we cancelled the other people that were coming to quote because we want you to do it. So there's loads of things you can do, and what I would suggest to you is that you get yourself away from the computer, get away from the phone and all that stuff, and get yourself somewhere quiet. Go and sit in the garden on a Sunday afternoon and get a piece of paper and just draw some blocks on there, and just go through step by step what that customer will get from you in that process, from the moment they contact you, when they call you, what happens in all that process. Because I reckon I'd put my house on that you could improve that process just a little bit. And if you tweak that, that means your conversion rates will shoot up, and you won't need so many leads coming in the top. So I'm sorry you were expecting, I was going to show you all different ways to get new leads in. I have got loads of ways to do that, but I want you to get this bit right first, because there's no point us getting loads of leads and spending hundreds of thousands of pounds getting leads in when you haven't got a bulletproof conversion process to turn them into customers. I really hope that's helped you. I hope that's given you something to think about anyway. And if that hasn't helped you at all and you thought it was a load of bollocks, that's all right. Thanks for watching this far. But hopefully that's helped you a lot. And as I say, if you want to get these into your email inbox every week rather than sitting on LinkedIn to watch it, then just click on that link in that first comment and just put your email address in, and I'll send it to you every Friday. Hey, let me know if you do any of this stuff. Let me know if you get any success, because that is the best feeling in the world when you share some advice and someone says, "I did that and it bloody worked." So if you could do that, that'd be brilliant. But I'll see you next week for another one, which will be about bringing leads in at the top, but I want you to get that bit right first. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Cheerio.